Hey everyone, it is Philippa here from PSP in North Bay. I wanted to take you guys through a little bit of a live stream session today. It didn't work out, unfortunately, but that's okay because then that just means that you get to have this pre-recorded and available to you at all times. Today we're going to be doing a 30-minute or approximate 30-minute yoga practice. So what that means in terms of if you've never done yoga before or if you have a regular practice, today's practice is going to be a vinyasa style. So you're going to have a lot of up and downs. You're going to be using your body physically. It will have a lot of juicy stretches at the end. So if you need that little bit of a cherry at the end of the rope to kind of get you to the end of this class, there's going to be lots of juicy stretches then. Otherwise, it is going to be somewhat physical. If you have no experience in yoga, that's okay. I'll try and give you as much verbal cueing as possible, but always do reference the video just in case I've missed giving you a little bit of a cue just to check your form and whatnot. I know it is really hard to do videos and yoga at the same time if you don't know some of the words, so try and keep up. Pause the video if you need to take a break or if it's getting too physical for you, that's okay. At any point in the practice, if you feel like you're getting too much out of it, it's too hard for you to do, please just take it down to a child's pose on the floor or a downward dog. These are your recovery poses. Anyone that's taken a yoga class with me knows that I tend to not use too much recovery time in my class until we get to those juicy stretches. So benefit of having a video, pause, take your break if you need to, and move forward. The other thing that you guys should note today is I will have 3 lovely assistants running around. I have 3 wonderful dogs, and they probably will get in my face at one point. I'm sorry if you don't like to see dogs. I can't change it. I can't cage them to this or they'll cry the whole time, so we'll just go with it as we can. Great, so we're ready to get started then. So we're going to start laying on our back. Knees bent, feet resting on the outside edges of your mat. We're going to have one hand on our belly and one hand on our chest here. Just going to breathe into that bottom of the end, filling in the lungs all the way up to the top. And exhaling the same pattern, we're going to feel that top hand depress first, followed by that belly breath. We're just using this to connect with ourselves, center ourselves to the day's practice. If you are someone that sets an intention for your practice, this is the time where we can just be focusing on that intention in our head, whether it's just to complete the practice, that's my intention today, is to get through to the end. Whether our intention is just to feel stronger in ourselves or to feel longer in ourselves, whatever your intention is, keep that in that forefront of your mind as you breathe here. Nice long breath. Taking a couple more here. Beautiful. Let's take those hands, place them down to the floor. Inch those feet in a little bit here so that our feet are in line with our knees. We're going to follow our breath in this bridge pose, engaging through our glutes, inhaling tall, exhaling down. Inhaling, lifting those hips, and exhaling down. Inhaling and exhaling. That cameo was courtesy of Eva, or as I like to call her, Eva the Diva. Beautiful. We're just warming the glutes and the backs up here. On the next inhale, we're going to pause at the top of this bridge. So we're inhaling, we're going to pause, and we're just going to squeeze those shoulder blades in towards one another. We don't have to touch the hands together. We're just squeezing those shoulder blades, engaging through the chest. I'm lifting my hips even higher here. I'm not sure if you can see that difference online. We're just going to maintain that hold, breathing through it, squeezing through those glutes, maybe lifting to those tippy toes, so lifting off those tippy toes so that our heels are down on the ground. Exhale, let's slowly lift up to the tiptoes this time and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time through that spine. Once we're down on the ground, you can windshield wiper those knees side to side. And whenever you're ready, we're going to start into the next, activating our core. So we're going to extend one leg here and draw one knee towards the chest. Notice my head is still on the ground here. It's going to stay there as I exchange these legs. So I'm inhaling one knee towards my chest, exhaling the other knee towards my chest. If I want to make this a little bit more challenging, I aim those feet a little bit lower. And remember, we are not lifting the head off the ground here. This helps maintain that neutral spine. So I am focused on creating bracing throughout my belly. And while we brace and we do these movements, we find the intensity increases. There are some people out there that like to do the head crunch. Now the head crunch, I'm not sure if you notice, it creates a C-spine with my body. That's not ideal, especially for taking care of an area of our back. But it does add a little bit more dynamic intensity. Beautiful. So the next thing we're going to be doing is just rolling ourselves up. Just taking a couple rolls. So grab the back of my legs. I'm not going to roll backwards into my dog. And we're up right here. My dog is wonderful at cameos, right? They're just coming onto our side. We're going to warm up our side core or our obliques. We're going to start just with a kneeling side plank here and lifting through that belly button, pulling it forward. I'm also anchoring through my elbow, pulling down towards my hip. I can reach my opposite arm up towards the sky. We're just breathing here for a moment. We're going to exhale, lowering everything back down. That top hand can come back down. Inhaling, opening through that top knee, side plank again. So we're engaging our adductors, sorry. Exhaling down. One more side plank as we're warming up here. This time, legs are extended, and your top leg is stacked in front of your bottom leg, and we're lifting it straight up. That bottom knee can still come down. That's okay. We're still firing up those same muscles. So wherever you need to go today, that's where you go to. Exhaling down. We're going to switch sides. You guys can just change directions in which you're facing, or follow my lead and switch ends of your mat. So again, elbows down underneath that shoulder line. My knees are tucked. I'm lifting through that belly, pulling my belly forward, and if I'm comfortable, that arm goes towards the sky. Just breathing here. Exhaling, lowering back down. Same movement, top knee opens. Opening it up, working through the glutes a little bit more and through the core as we lift here. Anchoring through that elbow. So as I'm anchoring, that means I'm pulling my elbow towards my hip to fire up those obliques. Lowering back down. We know what this means. Last exercise here. Both legs are extended. Top leg stacks in front of the bottom leg. You can lift it straight up here if you're comfortable, or drop that bottom knee down wherever you need to go. I always take it a little bit easier in the beginning. It's always nice to welcome your body into the exercises we're about to do. And exhaling down. Coming onto all fours. And again, we're trying to find our perfect spine. So you'll see me kind of cat-cowing at the front here. But that's just to establish that wonderful lower back curve. Pressing through those arms, separating those shoulder blades. I've got bracing in my belly as I reach opposite arm and leg extended. We're just holding it there. Maintain that hold. Exhale, bring it down. Extend the other side. And I'm not sure if you notice at all in the video or if it's something that you're even looking at, but notice that my back position doesn't change. It's almost like I have a glass of water on my back, and any movement will spill it all over my mat. I don't like that. Beautiful. Switch sides. Kick through that back heel, reach through those front fingertips, lift that arm beside the ear if you can. Last time. One more time on each side here. Kick through that back leg, reach as far forward as you can, press through that bottom arm if you are able to do any more. Switch sides. Holding it here. And breathing. Beautiful. Bring that hand and knee back down. I'm just going to show you guys one of the recovery poses. It is child's pose. You can join me here if you want to. All for this one I've done is open my knees about mat width apart. I bring my toes together and sit my hips back on top of my feet. Then I can rest forward. Now if your head doesn't touch the ground, there are people that are a little bit higher. Just take those hands, stack them under the head wherever you're comfortable going. This is a recovery option. The second recovery option, and this one we're all going to do together, is downward dog. So to do downward dog, when we're in our all fours position, we just take our hands, move them one handprint in front of that shoulder line. We tuck the toes into the mat. Keep those hips as far back towards the back of the mat as you can. and lift through those legs. So notice my legs are not straight here. That's a misconception we always see in yoga. Straight legs, it's never the case. We go to where we can. The goal here is that flat back. So if you notice when I straighten my legs, my back rounds. If I keep my knees bent, I can get that nice long back, which is the intention, which is harder to do than that hamstring stretch. I'm just going to hold it here. Do whatever feels right to your practice. Maybe it's walking the legs a little bit. I call it the puppy wag because we're in downward dog. You can shift those hips side to side. Whatever feels good to you right now. Whenever you're ready, we are going to walk towards the front of our mat or the middle of the mat, wherever your walk gets you to, and just let that body hang nice and heavy. Take the arms at the elbows and just let your body hang here. Maybe nodding yes with your head or no, making sure it's nice and loose. Nice long breaths. Releasing those arms. And then on the next inhale, begin rolling that body upright. One vertebra at a time. Taking your time to get up to the very top. And trust me, I'm not doing anything interesting in front of you either. So really do take your time. Anytime we go upright, it is a chance to do your clothing or your hair adjustments if you got long floppy hair like my hair does. And I hope we're still all with us and we're still all doing okay. So the next thing we're going to do is a little bit more of a pickup. We're going to warm that body up even more. We're going to start right into our sun salutes. This is traditional in every yoga practice. I'm sure they have a version of a sun salute that you will implement in a day. I'm not going to spend too much time on explaining what the sun salute is today, just because there is a lot of resources available for you, including on our own webpage. But that being said, we'll get started. So we're standing at the top of our mat in the Tadasana pose, or mountain pose. Our thighs are engaged. Our glutes are locked. We have tension in our core, and our shoulder blades are pulled together. Take our hands to heart center. We're going to inhale, bring those arms nice and high above our head. Exhale, nice big forward dive. We're going to inhale, lift it to a flat back, finding a place for our hands along our shins or our thighs to pull those shoulder blades together and create that lower back arch. Exhaling down, we can step or jump back into a plank position. Yeah, that's right. Go right to the plank. Now, if planks are hard for you, bring it down to the knees. You're still going to get a workout in there. If they're not, you're going to stay on your toes. We're going to lower all the way down to the ground in the chaturanga pose. Place those feet flat on the ground. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and lift into a nice cobra pose. We can take the hands off the ground to make sure we're not dropping down. That's how intense this is for our back. Exhaling down, toes into the mat, pressing up from the knees or toes, and into downward dog. This is our recovery pose. 5 breaths are here. You need to take child's pose anytime we're in downward dog. That's a great opportunity to take that break. You can step or jump both feet to the front of our mat. We're going to inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, dropping it down. Bending through the knees, arms come up to that shoulder line. Inhaling tall to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhaling tall. Exhale, forward dive. Inhale, flat back. Pull those shoulder blades. Exhaling down. Step or jump to the back of your mat in your plank pose. Really pressing through those arms. We're going to lower down into chaturanga. This time we are going to stay high, or you can do what we did on the first round, which is that nice little baby cobra. We're lowering down here. Toes point towards the back of the mat. As we lift up, shoulder blades are pulling together, glutes are squeezed. Inhale, lift through those toes, lifting through that belly button. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Take that nice big pause here. Let that body relax. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Make sure the weight is distributed evenly across the 4 points of contact on the ground. On the next inhale, you can jump or step to the front of your mat. We're going to inhale, lift to that flat back. Exhaling down. Bend through those knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. I like to shake it out every now and then when I do a yoga class. Makes you loosey-goosey. Plus it's fun. So do your loosey-gooseys, because we're about to start in our Surya Namaskar B or our Sun Salute B. Sun Salute B is a little bit longer. It's a little bit more fluid in that there's a lot more other positions involved in it. It's not just the up, down, back, and forward. So please bear with me. We are going to end up doing 4 salutes in the B version. Okay, find your Tadasana pose, core engaged, hands to heart center. Let's inhale, arms to the sky. We're going to exhale, sit it back into a chair pose. So we're pushing those hips out behind us. Lift those arms. One other cue, you can always look towards the ceiling with those eyes if you're able to. Exhaling down, extend through those legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down, step or jump back into plank pose. So you can change it up each time. We're going to come down and do our vinyasa. So that's that chaturanga. Flip those toes up to up dog. Exhale, lift through the belly button into downward dog. This is not a break pose, downward dog. We're going to inhale, lift our right leg to the sky. Nice tall downward dog splits. We're going to step it forward to the front of our mat. Drop the back heel down with the toes pointing towards the front of our mat and come up into warrior one. Shoulders pulled away from the ears. Turning the hips towards the front of your mat and getting nice and deep. We're going to exhale, come into warrior two. So I've extended through those legs. I'm squaring my shoulders over my hips. And again, I'm lowering down. Not lowering forward, I'm lowering down the center of my body. Let's exhale, bring those hands down, framing that front foot. Slide the front leg to the back. You can take child's pose here, or downward dog, or vinyasa. I'm going to do the vinyasa. Back in the downward dog whenever you're ready. And you might really be feeling that body opening up here. Really getting that warm juices flowing. Let's take the left leg to the sky. Nice downward dog splits. Pushing through those arms. We're going to slowly step that leg forward to those 2 front hands, dropping the back heel down. Inhale, tall warrior one. I'm pressing the weight distribution against the outside edge of my back foot. So if you're wondering how that's feeling, I'm really straightening through the back of the leg and internal or externally rotating that thigh to get there. I'm going to inch my front foot over about 2 inches. Warrior two. Breathing through this, lowering as far down as you're comfortable. Looking out over those front fingertips, trying to square your shoulders over the hips. Exhale, hands come down, framing that front foot. Front leg goes back. We're coming down. Inhale, tall. Exhale, downward dog. This is our break one. Now, if you want to try your Shakti kicks, you can take those big toes together. We're going to bend through the knees and elbows, kick towards our bum, and jump towards the front of the mat. You can always step. That's okay. Once there, we're going to bend through those knees, arms come beside those ears, and chair pose. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tall. Exhale, dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down. Just giving ourselves a little break here. Maybe pedal those legs out a little bit. I always like to do this midway through a flow. Kind of break it down. Let's bend to those knees. Inhale, tall to the sky. Hands come to heart center. Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, tall. And chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down, step or jump back. Plank pose. Dropping it down into your chaturanga, lifting up towards the sky. Nice upward dog. Flip those toes under, lift through that belly button, downward dog. Take that left leg to the sky. Step it forward to those 2 front hands. Drop our back heel down. Inhale, tall warrior one. Remember, this is a twist, so we're trying to turn those hips towards the front of our mat. Exhaling down. Oops, actually no, exhaling warrior two. Almost caught me. Warrior two, tuck that tailbone under slightly. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come down. Front leg goes back. Vinyasa if you want to. Downward dog if you don't. Or child's pose. This is getting pretty sweaty, I'm sure. Take our right leg to the sky. Step it forward to those 2 front hands. Dropping that back heel down. Warrior one. Good. Pull those shoulder blades down away from the ears if you are elevated. Warrior two. Just keep breathing here. Connecting with that breath. Exhale, hands come down. Slide that front leg to the back. One bonus vinyasa here. Downward dog. Break pose, downward dog. Just taking a nice deep breath in. You can imagine it's even harder to talk and do this at the same time. So bear with me in my heavy breathing. So let's take those big toes together. We're going to bend the knees and the arms. Kick it up. Wherever you land, that's where you land. That's all good. Bending forward. Inhale, coming into chair pose. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. You've got two more left in terms of the salutes, and then we're down on the floor just pretty shortly after that, because I'm going to add in some balance here. Eva Diva coming back into the show. I'm sure she'll help me out. Let's take our hands to heart center. We're going to inhale tall to the sky here. Exhale, chair pose. Sitting it down. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down. We're going to lift our right leg to the sky this time. Nice forward balance pose, kicking through that back heel. Beautiful. We're going to slowly let that leg lower back down. We're going to come into a mini little twist here, so we're going to reach that left arm to the sky. Breathing here. Exhale, hand comes down. Coming into our plank pose. Chaturanga. Up to up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping it forward. We're going to drop it down into warrior two, so that back heel is flat and parallel with the back of your mat. We're going to inhale, come up into exalted. So reaching through the front arm, creating space. Everyone tends to lean back here. Goal is to reach and sink. Breathing here. Exhale, forward. Reach, extended side angle. Exhale, hand comes down. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Up to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step that leg forward, drop that back heel down. Cartwheel arms up, warrior two. Flat edge of your foot is kind of parallel with the back of the mat. Inhale, exalted. Reach. Keep breathing. Exhale, extended side angle. Creating that nice long line from ankle all the way to the top of your fingertips. This one gets a little bit more fun. As you get more comfortable, you can actually turn the body a little bit deeper into it. Most people turn the body and that front knee follows though, so use that as cautionary. Exhale, hand comes down, plank position, bonus vinyasa, downward dog. Step that right leg in between those two front hands. Lift the right arm to the sky, a little mini twist for a few breaths. Exhale, hand comes down, slide those hands forward. Nice single leg stance here. Or forward splits, although mine does not look like that. And we're going to float that top leg down to stand beside that bottom leg. Letting your body round down slightly here. We're going to bend through those knees. Inhale, arms beside the ears. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tall. Exhale, chair. Inhale, extend and forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down. We're going to step our left leg back this time. So this is going to seem pretty familiar. And we're going to come right into that twist. Taking that top hand down. Lift the back leg. Little balance. Baby balance. Lowering down. Stepping that front leg to the back. Coming into that nice plank pose. We can take that vinyasa here. Exhaling, coming into downward dog. Take the left leg to the sky. Step up forward to those two front hands. Drop our back heel down. Warrior two. Inhale, reach. Exalted. Reach through that top arm. Contract the core on the backside. Create space. Exhale forward. Extended side angle. Turn through the chest. Reach through that top fingertip. Allow that front leg to rotate externally. Exhale, come down. Front plank. Chaturanga. Up to uppies. Down to down dog. Take our right leg to the sky here. Step forward to those two front hands. Drop our back heel down. Cartwheel those arms up. Warrior two. Let's inhale, reach. Lifting towards the ceiling. Create space on that front hip. My back arm isn't doing much work. It's kind of just making sure that I stay in position. Exhale, forward. Extended side angle. Turn through that chest. Allow that front knee to stay externally rotated. Enjoy that nice big stretch in the hip. Exhale, hand comes down. Last vinyasa of the day. Chaturanga. Up to up dog. Bring it back into down dog. Break pose. Where's your good girl? We're going to take our left leg forward here, stepping in between those two front hands, and reach our left arm towards the sky. Exhale, hand comes down, lift through that front leg. Nice standing balance here. Exhale, slowly float that top leg down, rounding down forward. Bending through those knees. One final chair pose. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Give yourself a round of applause. You made it through the hard stuff. Okay. So we're just going to bring it down to the floor here. We're going to do some stretches. And then we'll go into our Shavasana pose. Wicked fun, right? First stretch, I always love this one. Butterfly pose. To start, I've got my feet a little bit slightly in front of my knee line. The feet are against one another. It's the only bouncing pose you'll ever find, ever. If you see anything else that's like a bouncing stretch, don't do it. That's dangerous. This one's nice and safe for us. So we're just leaning, bouncing, creating space. And then because we are so warmed up, we can take those elbows, if you're able to get them on the front side of the shin, so I'm not pressing on my legs. I'm just letting my arms go forward. Palms are facing the ceiling as I just round forward into this. We're just going to stay here and breathe. Inhale, walk our hands back towards your body. We're going to take that left leg, open it up to the side. Right leg's going to tuck in. Toes point up. Your body's going to want to turn towards that front leg. We're going to keep it centered. And we're just leaning forward into this one. Okay? You should feel the stretching maybe on the inside of the thigh, maybe on the back of the leg. I do this in most of my classes, but you can take your hand down by your knee. And you can kind of just walk those fingers up and down the leg, trying to find that spot where you feel that tension the most. And interestingly enough, that's the muscle that's limiting your range of motion. It doesn't mean to start being quite mean to that muscle. It just means there's a lot of pliability in our body, and sometimes it's just one thing that stops us. So it's working at those one thing. Let's inhale, lift up. We're going to take our big toe if we can reach it. If we can't reach it, we're just going to grab our leg somewhere. And I'm going to draw my elbow towards that knee. So I'm drawing down. So if I was grabbing anywhere else, I'm still drawing down. My opposite arm is going to reach up towards the sky though. So as I inhale and draw down, I'm just leaning over. This is our ballerina stretch here. We're just getting a really big side body stretch because we haven't done too much side body stuff. in terms of stretching, apart from the core we did at the start. This is called waterfall pose. And it's called waterfall pose just to kind of picture ourselves as a little bit of a waterfall. We're going to inhale tall. We're going to bring your left foot in and extend that right leg out this time. Same thing, square forward, hinge, make sure that leg doesn't follow us around. Just leaning forward here. And just stretching it out. Now there's two ways you can do these stretches. You can do it passive, which I'm sure most of you are doing, and it's absolutely okay. You're just passively dropping forward and just letting go of any tension. The other way you can do this one is if you're working in an active range of motion, it's squaring those shoulder blades down or back, kind of through that nice flat back and hinging into that. You'll notice zero difference in terms of the strength of the stretch that you get. It's just mostly comfort. So if you're working at creating an active range of motion, I would recommend flat back. If you're looking at just increasing the passive range of motion, just let everything go and flop forward. We're going to go right into that waterfall pose here. So again, grabbing that big toe if you can with the finger and middle finger, or just grabbing a hold of the calf somewhere along the lines, wherever you want to go. I'll just grab my calf on this one. We inhale, reaching up with the opposite arm. Exhale forward, over top of that straight leg, into our waterfall. Now, I didn't explain it properly on the last set, but waterfall pose is supposed to be, and you'll see myself and you'll have a little bit of a smile to yourself as well. But waterfall is so, we picture a little drop of water dropping down the arm, and if we're in proper pose, that drop falls all the way over top of our toes. I'm not quite there. Nor do I think I'll always ever be there, and that's okay. It's always about a journey, not so much about comparing yourself to others. Inhale, bring it back to the top. We're going to come flat onto our back here. So I'm lowering down, keeping my core nice and tight. I draw my knees towards my chest, and I'm just rocking a little bit side to side. Now I'm going to play around the angle of my knee, drawing big circles. So if you're taking care of your lower back today, this is a really nice lower back massage. Ooh, feels so nice. I think I need this more often. A little lower back massage. We're going to take those arms out to the shoulder line and just let the knees fall on one side of your body. It doesn't matter which one. We'll get to both of them. And our head turns the other way. If this is not a stretch for you, it's too much a part of your day, you can extend your top leg out and grab it by the toe. And the other leg extends down. This is the two-knee side twist, or the split twist, is what I'm demoing right now. We're really tight in our chest. This is a good chest stretch as well. And that's okay too, if it's stretching different areas. We're all tight somewhere different. We're going to inhale, bring ourselves back to center using those arms to help anchor ourselves. We can again rock side to side. We can wrap those arms around the legs, releasing any tension in the lower back, or go right directly to the other side. You will notice differences on each side. That's okay. That's the whole point of having a body. You always use one side more than the other. And it's just learning about where those imbalances fall and how to readjust them in our day. Yoga helps great. Nice deep inhale and exhales. Usually using that big belly breathing that we were practicing at the start. That nice slow breath. Beautiful. Let's inhale, bring ourselves back to center. Again, massaging that lower back. We're coming right back into the position we started with. Feet wide, knees resting against one another. Arms can be down by your side. Palms facing the ceiling. You can also take your traditional Shavasana pose, which is legs outstretched to the outside corners of your mat, arms down by your side. So you just let those legs drop and fall down towards the ground. I always do the bent knee position because that is safer on the lower back. Changes nothing about the relaxation of the position, and all it does is just make you feel a little bit less like a stiff board when you're coming out of that Shavasana pose, if that is what you are in. Whichever position you pick, we're just taking some deep breaths here. Letting our body absorb today's practice. Thanking ourselves for getting through the entire thing. Appreciating if we didn't and how far we did get. Coming back to our intention that we set at the start. No judgment, just yoga. And puppies in this house. Follow that breath. Stay here as long as you want. And this is where I'm going to close the video over. If we're coming out of that position, we just roll to one side. We bring ourselves seated. You can stay in your Shavasana pose for as long as you want. With light and with love, thank you for joining me today. And I hope you got a little bit out of the practice that you were looking for. Maybe that little bit extra that you weren't. And maybe you learned something new, and maybe you didn't. That's okay too. Whichever way your day worked for you. I thank you for letting me be a part of it. Namaste. Bye, everyone.